Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so today we are going to discuss about new topic 2.4, that is eukaryotic cell structure. So in this chapter we are going to learn about ultrastructure and the functions of eukaryotic cellular component. Then we will study about the importance of cytoskeleton, the interrelationship between the organelles involved in the production and the secretion of different proteins. Okay. Okay, now starting the chapter. Microscopes do not only make cell visible, they also enable us to look deep in the individual cells. It means what? That with the help of the microscope, we can not only see cell, but also we can see the individual part of the cell. Now, using the different type of microscope, you can discover how cells are organized and investigated the ways in which structures you can see relate to their function. Now, with the help of different microscopes, we can not only see the microscope, but we can also investigate the structure and interrelate the function with the structure of a particular cell component. Clear? Microscopy allow us to see what goes in a healthy cell.
Just one
And
second.
yes,
Just so just 1 second.
okay. So microscopy allow us to see what goes in a healthy cell, means how the healthy cell looks like, and it also helps us to observe some changes which takes place in a cell when it is attacked or it is diseased. So with the help of microscopy, we can get in and out, total in and out of a cell. Okay. Now relative size of molecules, cells, and cell organelles and cells. Now how we can relatively see the sizes. So the diagram below demonstrates how the development of microscope has allowed biologists to discover increasing amount of detail of a cell ultrastructure. Now suppose water. This is water particle, and this is a bigger size, and this one is a smaller. Sorry, this is the smallest size, smallest one, and this is the bigger one. Okay. The minimum resolved by the electron microscope. Electron microscope can minimum resolution is this one, and minimum resolution by the light microscope. This is the minimum resolution by the light microscope. For the help of light microscope, we can only see this one, and minimum resolution by unaided eyes. Unaided by eyes means without any microscope and all. So this is the minimum resolution that we can see. The width of human hair, we can't see the width of human hair. It's very less for us. You can't see it. So this is a comparison of the size. A tennis ball, we can easily see human hair, and then if the size goes on decreasing there this way, then the size 1 micrometer is the size of bacterium or red blood cells. If the size is further decreased, then the structure of protein is there, DNA, ribosome, a glucose molecule, and then simply water molecule. So in this way, we can just simply compare. The diagram below demonstrates how development of microscope. Now, as the microscope is more and more developed, we can clearly see smaller and smaller objects, or you can say ultra small structures we can easily see. So increased knowledge of structure has led to a better understanding of cell function. Now, as we are able to see each and every cell particles or cell organelles, so it will be easy for us to understand their cell function. Okay. Now cells. The
Yeah.
basic unit of living things is cell. Cell is the basic unit of a living thing. Each and every human being is made up of cells. It's made up of a group of cells. But not all cells are same. They are fundamentally divided into two types, prokaryotic and eukaryotic cell. Okay. Now prokaryotes means ancient one. So the prokaryotes are the single-celled organism which with a simple structure of just a single undivided internal surface called as cytoplasm. So prokaryotic cells are those single-celled organisms which are having a single structure. There inside there is no division. The undivided internal structure is there, which is known as cytoplasm, and which is composed of cytosol, that is made up of water, salts, and some organic molecule. Clear? This is
Yeah.
about the prokaryotic. Now, eukaryotic cells are made up of multicellular organisms like animal, plants, and in fungi, like in animal, plants, and fungi. Now, eukaryotic cells have a much more complicated internal structure and containing a membrane-bound nucleus, that is nucleoplasm and cytoplasm. So you can say that this eukaryotic cell is a little bit more advanced than that of the prokaryotic cell. Okay, and this eukaryotic cell contains many members bound or cellular components, that is, they have their own specific wrapping, or you can say boundary. You will learn about the difference between the prokaryotic and eukaryotic cell in topic 2.6. In this topic, we will learn about the ultrastructure of the eukaryotic cell. The ultrastructure of cell is those features that can be seen using an electron microscope. Now, with the help of electron microscope only, we can see ultrastructure of cells. Clear?
Yeah.
Okay. Now we will discuss about the compartments of life, or how the cell is divided. Now, chemical reaction are the fundamental process of life, and in cells, they require both enzymes and specific reaction conditions. Fine. So in order to digest what food we are eating, in order to get each and everything from the energy, whatever the food we are eating, we need some chemical reactions that need to take part in a body, inside the body. Clear? And for those chemical reactions, we require some enzymes and specific reaction conditions. Is that clear?
Yeah.
Am I audible? My voice is clear. Am I audible? Okay. Now see, metabolism involves both synthesis, that is building up, and the breaking down of the molecule. Different sets of reaction takes place in different regions of the ultrastructure of the cell. Okay. Now metabolism is the one which involves both synthesis, that is the building of the material, and breaking down of the molecules also. And different sets of reaction takes place in different regions of the ultrastructure of the cell. It means each and every part of the cell has a specific role to do. Is that point clear? My voice is there? I'm audible? Okay, fine. Okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
Now, the reaction that takes part in the cytoplasm, the cell cytoplasm is separated from the external environment by a cell surface membrane. Now, each and every reaction takes part in cytoplasm, and there is a separation between the external surrounding and the cytoplasm by a cell membrane. Okay, that is known as what? Eukaryotic cell. So in case of eukaryotic cell, the cytoplasm is divided into many different membrane-bound compartments known as cell organelles. So in cytoplasm, there are so many membrane-bounded organelles, that is, some organelles which are around a membrane are present, and we call them as a organelles. Okay, and these cell organelles have their own specific function, and these provides a distinct environment and therefore conditions for the different cellular reactions. They have their own different structure, and they have their own different function. The overall function of a cell is be divided into cell organelles. Got it?
Yeah.
Okay, ji. Now, membranes are selective, permeable, and control the movement of substance into and out of the cell organelles. Now, these membranes are semi-permeable membrane or selectively permeable, which means they are going to allow a certain amount or certain size of particles to move through them. Otherwise, they will not allow each and every particle to move through them. Clear?
Is it just for the cell membrane or the membrane of the organelles?
All, both cell and organelle, both.
Okay.
Organelle membrane also is selectively permeable, and this also membranes are selectively permeable and controls the movement. They control each and every movement of the substances which are coming in and out of the cell and the organelle, both. Okay. Now membranes are effective barrier in controlling the substance enter and exit the cell, but they are fragile. They can control the in and out of the substance, but they are fragile. They are very soft. Okay, they can easily break down, can be there. Now there is a number of cell organelles, the number of organelles that are common to all eukaryotic cells. Each type of distinct structure and function. Now, in case of eukaryotic cells, so many cell organelles are common. Okay,
Yeah.
and each have a distinct structure and function. They are clearly seen in animal cells and focus on this topic. And some are only found in the animal and some are only found in the plant. The ultrastructure specific to plant is discussed in the next topic. Now we are going to discuss about the ultrastructure of the plant. Now this is a cell.
Yeah.
Drawing of the eukaryotic animal cell showing many other components. Now this is the eukaryotic cell. Now these are the, this is a nucleus. Okay. Nucleolus, this is nucleus. This is Golgi apparatus. This whole thing is Golgi apparatus. This is mitochondria. This one, mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell in which each and every ATP consumption is there. Then this dot 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 are the ribosomes. Fine. And this is endoplasmic reticulum. This one is the smooth, rough endoplasmic reticulum. This one is the smooth endoplasmic reticulum.
Yeah.
Fine. So we will
Yeah.
discuss about what the functions of all these centriole, cytosol, cell membrane, each and every. So this is nothing but a
Just a eukaryotic animal
yeah. This
cell.
is a diagram. How this diagram is important, you must learn it. This is important. Okay.
Yeah. Is it
Now,
like, so the
hold.
diagram,
Mm-hmm.
these organelles are drawn, that they have to be in the same position
नहीं
all
नहीं
the
आगे
time?
पीछे चलेगा
or-
चलेगा. If you are drawing this there, it will work. But
So,
this
but
and
like,
this,
does the Golgi apparatus have to be next to the
but this
nucleus?
Golgi apparatus need to be there only. You can't draw Golgi apparatus like this. Fine. One or two
Okay.
things can be occurred here and there, but not each and everything.
Yeah.
Is that clear?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Now we will discuss about nucleus. The nucleus, the plural is nuclei, contains the coded genetic information in the form of a DNA molecule. The nucleus contains the genetic genetic information in the form of a DNA molecule. And DNA directs the synthesis of all the proteins required for the cell, although the protein synthesis occurs inside the nucleus at ribosome. Now, DNA with the help of ribosome will form the proteins. In this way, DNA controls the metabolic activity of the cell, as many of these proteins are the enzymes necessary for metabolism to take place. And not surprisingly, the nucleus is often biggest single organelle in the cell. Nucleus is considered to be the biggest single organelle cell. Any doubt in this paragraph?
No.
Nucleus contains a coded genetic information in the form of a DNA molecule, and DNA directs the synthesis of proteins required by the cell. Although this protein synthesis occurs outside the nucleus of at the ribosome. So ribosome is the site of protein synthesis. And in this way, we can say that the DNA controls the metabolic activities of the cell, as many of these proteins and enzymes necessary metabolism to take place. Got it clear?
Yeah.
Okay. Ji. Now DNA is constrained within a double membrane called a nuclear envelope to protect it from the danger of the cytoplasm. Now DNA is contained within the double membrane. DNA is in the double membrane called a nuclear envelope. This double membrane is known as nuclear envelope in order to protect it from the damage in the cytoplasm. The nuclear envelope contains a nuclear pore, that is pores means small holes. Okay, like this you can clearly see this these are the nuclear pores. हाँ जी. So in figure 2.2, 2.2 कहाँ है? Okay, चलो, we will see it later on. The topic 2.2, magnification calibration. Magnification calibration that allows the molecules to move into and out of the nucleus. Now, DNA itself is too large to leave the nucleus to the site of protein synthesis in the cell cytoplasm. Now, DNA itself is too large to leave the nucleus to the site of protein synthesis in the cytoplasm. Instead, it is transcribed into small RNA molecule where they are exported via the nuclear pore. This point is clear or not? Because of the bigger size of the DNA,
Yeah.
it will be difficult for the nucleus to leave the site of the site of the protein synthesis. So what they do instead, it is transcribed into smaller RNA molecules, which are exported via nuclear pore.
So do the RNA molecules go through the ribosomes?
What?
The RNA molecules, do they go to the ribosomes in the cytoplasm
Yes.
where
The
there's
nuclear
protein
envelope.
synthesis?
Yes, the nuclear envelope contains nuclear pore. Okay. And magnification and calibration that allow the molecules to move in and out of the nucleus. Now, DNA itself is very large to leave the nucleus of the site of protein synthesis in the cell of cytoplasm. So DNA, which is in the cell of cytoplasm, is not going to lose its the rest of the things easily. So, which is because it is too large to leave the nucleus of the site at the site of the protein synthesis.
So how is it supposed to leave the nucleus if the outside of the nucleus is covered by the endoplasmic reticulum?
So nucleus, that is what I'm saying. Na? It may selective. It is a selective permeable. It may be a this thing is there. Transportation is there. So DNA itself is very big. So DNA itself remains there now. Is that clear?
Yeah.
It is saying DNA itself is too large to leave the nucleus to the site of the protein synthesis in the industry instead of transcribed into smaller RNA molecules which are exported via nuclear pores. So two things can happen. It can transcribe into smaller RNA molecules, or it can be it can be, you can say, left to the site of the protein synthesis in the cell cytoplasm. Now, DNA associates with the protein are known as histones to form the complex called chromatin. The chromatin coils and condenses to form water structure known as chromosomes. They are only visible. These only become visible when they are preparing to divide. This topic is clear? Manya?
Yeah.
Am I
Yeah.
audible?
Yeah.
Okay, so DNA associates with protein are known as histones. We call them as histones, okay? And chromatin coils and condenses to form structure known as chromosomes. They are only visible at the time of the division of the cell. Then we have nucleus. The nucleus is an area with the nucleus. Nucleus is the area within the nucleus which is responsible for the production of ribosomes. Now, it is composed of the protein and RNA. The nucleosome is composed of the protein and RNA. RNA is used to produce ribosomes, that is RNA, that is small r RNA, which is then become the protein to form the ribosomes necessary for the protein synthesis, which is then combined with the protein to form ribosomes necessary for protein synthesis. Is that clear?
So, but
I'm again repeating.
if it produces, no, if the nucleus produces ribosomes,
Yes,
the ribosomes are
no,
outside of
nucleus
the
not produce
nucleus.
ribosome,
No,
endoplasmic
the
reticulum.
nucleolus.
Yes.
But the ribosomes are outside of the nucleus. So how does?
The nucleolus is an area within the nucleus which is responsible for the producing ribosome. The
Yeah,
nucleolus
but when
is
it's produced,
responsible.
it's not inside of the nucleus, it's
Wait,
outside of.
wait. It is outside. The nucleus is an area within the nucleus. It is within the nucleus and is responsible for the production of ribosomes. Fine. It is responsible for producing
Yeah.
ribosomes. It is compared with the proteins and RNA. RNA is used to produce ribosomal RNA, which is then combined with protein to form ribosomes necessary for protein synthesis. Is that point clear?
Yeah.
Again, I'm repeating, it is composed of the protein and RNA. Two components are there. RNA is used to produce ribosomal RNA, that is small RNA, which is then combined with proteins to form ribosomes necessary for protein synthesis. Clear?
Yeah.
Any doubt?
No.
Okay. Now we will see mitochondria. Now mitochondria, singular is mitochondrion, is an essential organelle in which in all of the eukaryotic cells. Now they are the site and the final stage of the cellular separation. So they are the site of the final stage of the cellular separation, where the energy stored in the bonds of complex, organic compounds are made available for the cell to use by the production of the amount or of the molecule ATP, that is adenine triphosphate. So mitochondria basic function is it is the powerhouse of the cell. Okay, and its main function is that whatever the energy stored in the bond of the complex, it need to be distributed. So organic compounds are made available for the cell to use by the complex organic molecule by the complex on the molecular ATP. The number of mitochondria in a cell is generally a reflection of amount of energy is used. So very active cells usually have lot of mitochondria. Is that clear? Any doubt in this? Am I audible?
Yeah.
Okay. Now mitochondria, it has a double membrane. The inner membrane is highly folded and in the form of a structure known as cisterine, like this.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So mitochondria is a double layer. Okay. The inner membrane of the highly soluble is to form structure of cisterine. The inner membrane is highly soluble to form, okay, structure of cisterine, and fluid interior is called as matrix. So cisterine and matrix, you need to remember matrix is the structure of food. Sorry, matrix is the structure of food, and fluid interior is known as matrix. Cisterine is structure of food, and other one is the matrix. Now, the membrane forming the cisterine contains the enzyme used in the aerobic respiration. Now, membranes contained by the cisterine can be used in the aerobic respiration. Interestingly, mitochondria also contains a small amount of DNA known as mitochondrial or empty DNA. The mitochondria can also produce their own enzymes and produce themselves. Mitochondria is the one which can produce by their own enzyme and it can reproduce by itself. Is that clear?
Yeah.
Okay. Do one thing, quickly read whatever we did up till now.
Okay.
You read up to page 128. Quickly.
From the beginning.
Yeah, from the beginning, this chapter. Read it.
Okay.
Quickly read it.
Yeah.
Now we will discuss about the vessels and lysosomes. So vessels are the membranous sacs that have storage and transport roles. Now vessels are nothing but a sac that helps us in storage and transportation. Okay, so they consist of simply a cell membrane with fluid inside. Sac-like means small bag-like structure. Fine. So they consist of simply a single
Yeah.
membrane with fluid inside it, and vessels are used to transport material inside the cell. Now, inside the cell, if we need to transport anything, that vessels help in transportation. Okay. Now, lysosomes. Lysosomes are specialized vessels that contain hydrolytic enzymes. So lysosomes are also a sac-like structure. They're also vessels, but they are specialized vessels that they contain hydrolytic enzyme. Hydro means water, lytic means breakdown. So that can break water. They are responsible for the breakdown of waste material in the cell, including the old cell organelles. Old organelles. Now, lysosomes are known as digestive bags of the cell. So why they are known as digestive bag? Because they have that kind of bacteria or that kind of enzymes inside them that can digest each and everything. Even the own cell can be digested into the lysosomes. Clear?
Yeah.
So they play an important role in immune system as they are responsible for the breakdown of the pathogens in, ingested by the pathogenic cell. Whatever the pathogens are the disease causing agents. So they also play an important role in programmed cell death or apoptosis. So if the death is there and something like this is there, then these lysosomes help in that. Okay,
Yeah.
clear? Any doubt in this?
Yeah. No.
Now we have a cytoplasm. No, sorry, cytoskeleton. Now cytoskeleton is present throughout the cytoplasm of all eukaryotic cells. It is a network of fibers necessary for the shape and the stability of a cell. For the stability of the cell or the shape of the cell, this cytoskeleton is required. Now, organelles are held in a space of the cytoskeleton and it controls cell movement and movement of the organelles within the cell. Now, cytoskeleton is just like a skeleton in our body, as our skeleton gives us a structure, gives us a different shape inside a skeleton, inside a cell. The cytoskeleton plays the same role. It is a network of fiber which gives the necessary shape to the cell, or it gives the stability to the cell, and it helps the each and every cell organelle and also controls the movement of the cell organelles within the cell and also controls the total motion of a cell. Clear?
Yeah.
Okay. Now basically, cytoskeleton has three components. The first one is the microfilament. Micro means small, filament means thread-like structure. So contractile fibers formed from the protein elastin. They are responsible for the cell movement and also cell contraction. So these are the thread-like structures made of protein known as elastin. So they are responsible for the cell movement and the cell constriction during the cytokinesis. This is the cytokinesis. The process in which cytoplasm is a single eukaryotic cell is divided to form the two daughter cells. Clear?
Can you say that again?
It is saying that the microfilaments are the contractile fibers formed by the protein elastin, and these are responsible for the cell movement and also for the cell contraction during the cytokinesis. So cytokinesis is a
Yeah.
process in which cytoplasm of a single eukaryotic cell is divided into two daughter cells. Now we have microtubules. Microtubules means very, very small tube-like structure. So globular tubulin protein polymerizes to form tubes that are used in the scaffold-like structure and determinations of the and determines the shape of a cell. Now microtubules are nothing but the globular tubulin protein and which polymerizes in the form of a tube, and they are used as a scaffold of like structure and remains the shape of the cell. Scaffold means this is a structure which is made in order to, you can say, if there is a very big building, so in a big building we have this, suppose this is a building, okay, and we want to do some painting over that building. So across that building we made a structure of iron. This structure is known as scaffolding. So in a cell, these microtubules are like the scaffolding. They also act as a track for the movement of the cell organelles, including vessels along the cell. Spindle fibers, which have a role of a physical segregation of the chromosomes in cell division, are also component of microtubules. Is that clear?
Yeah.
Okay, so microtubules is very important one. Then we have intermediate fibers. These fibers give mechanical strength to the cell and help in maintaining their integrity. Nothing much is there in the case of this integrated fiber. Got it clear?
Yeah.
Okay. Now then we have centrioles. Now centrioles are the component of the cytoskeleton present in most eukaryotic cell, and the exception of the flowering plants and the most fungi. Clear hai bhai? Bhaate? So
Yeah.
centrioles
Yeah.
are the components of the cytoskeleton. Now they are composed of the microtubules. Now two associated centrioles from the form centrosome. Now two associated centrioles form centrosome. Now two centrioles combine together and they form centrosome, which is involved in the assembly and organization of spindle fibers during cell division. Is that point clear?
Yeah.
Now in cell organisms with with flagella and cilia. Flagella and cilia are helping in the motion. Now centrioles are thought to play a role in positioning of these structures. Now first we have flagella and cilia. Now both flagella is a whip-like and cilia is a hair-like extension that protrudes from some cell types. Flagella are longer than cilia, but cilia are usually present in much greater number. Clear? Both are
Yeah.
nothing but a thread. The flagella is a whip-like structure and cilia is a thread-like structure. Now flagella are used primarily to enable cell mobility. In some cells, they use a sensory organelle detecting chemical changes in the environment of the cell. That last point is clear. In some cells, they are used as a sensory organelle
Yeah.
detecting any chemical change in the cell's environment. Flagella. Now, cilia. Wait a second. Cilia can be mobile or stationary. Maybe they are moving, they are stationary. And stationary cilia are present on the surface of the many cells and have an important function in the sensory organs such as nose. Now, what the important function they are doing? They will not allow any unwanted substance to pass into it. So that's why they are helping us. Now, mobile cilia beat in a rhythmic manner, creating a current and causes liquids as well as fluids or objects adjacent to the cell to move. For example, there is a present in the trachea to move mucus away from the lungs, helping to keep the air passage clean. And in the fallopian tube to move eggs from the ovary to the ureter. Now see, now how cilia is helpful? Cilia is helpful, for example, in the presence of trachea to move the mucus away from the lungs. Again, cilia or flagella is there. And also, whenever the fallopian tube, there are more eggs from the into it. And if you want to transfer it to the ovary part, then we need a different thing. Clear?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, in cilium contains two central microtubules, that is black circles, surrounded by 9 parts of the microtubules arranged in the like a wheel. So this is the arrangement of the microtubule. This is known as 9+2 arrangement, figure 6, like this. Okay.
So there's
Sorry. This is not the figure. This is figure this one. Yes. Ethelium contains the 2 central microtubules, black circles. These are the 2 central microtubules, black circles, surrounded by the 9 parts of the microtubules arranged in a wheel. This is a 9 microtubules arranged in a wheel. And this whole 9+2 arrangement in figure 6.
yeah.
Okay. Now pairs of parallel microtubules slide over each other, causing cilia to move in a beating motion. Now this pair of parallel, you can say, microtubules slide over each other, causing the cilia to move in a beating motion. Got it
Yeah.
clear?
Yeah.
Okay. तो फटाफट इसको फिनिश करते हैं अभी. Okay. Then we have organelles of the protein synthesis. Now the organelles which are helpful in the protein synthesis. The first one is the endoplasmic reticulum. Now a key function of the cell is to synthesize protein, including enzyme and the internal use and for the secretion, that is transport out of the cell. This is the function of the protein.
So you need proteins for transport out of the cell.
Yes. The key function of a cell is to synthesize protein. I'm talking about the key function of the cell. The key function of cell is to synthesize protein for internal use and for the secretion, that is transport out of the
Oh,
cell.
okay.
Okay. A significant proportion of the internal structure of the cell is required for this process. The majority of this thing is required at that time. The ribosomes, the endoplasmic reticulum, and the Golgi apparatus are more closely linked and coordinated the production of proteins and their preparation in the different roles within the cell. समझ में आई बात? Is that clear?
Yeah.
Ribosomes and other endoplasmic reticulum and the Golgi apparatus are closely linked together and coordinate the production of proteins and preparation of different roles within the cell. The cytoskeleton plays a key role coordinating the protein synthesis. So whatever the protein synthesis is, cytoplasm is playing a key role in this.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we have endoplasmic reticulum, that is ER. ER is a network of membrane enclosing flattened sac called cisterine. These are connected to the outermost membrane of the nucleus. It is connected to the outer membrane of the nucleus. The first one is the smooth endoplasmic reticulum and the other one is the rough endoplasmic reticulum. Now the main difference between the smooth and the rough is, in the case of rough, there is nothing.
It has
sorry.
on the surface.
In the case of rough, ribosomes are there on the surface of the endoplasmic reticulum, but in the case of smooth one, there is no ribosomes attached to it. Yes?
Yeah.
So smooth endoplasmic reticulum is responsible for lipid and carbohydrate synthesis and storage, and rough endoplasmic reticulum is responsible for the protein and synthesis of the transport of the protein. Responsible for the bound to the surface or the responsible for synthesis and transport of the protein. Now, secretory, excretory cells which release hormones or enzymes have tough endoplasmic reticulum than the cells which do not release proteins. Is that clear?
Yeah.
Okay. Chalo, that is enough for today. We will do this ribosomes, Golgi apparatus, and protein production in next class.
Yeah.
Yes or no? Fine.
Yeah.
Okay, we will do this in next class and try to do remaining part, whatever the things remaining the previous homework. Try to do all these homework and
Yeah.
okay, wait, just give me a second.